Hey there, Storm fans. Bryant Cook, and today we're playing a deck with Storm in it, but maybe not the way you thought. I'd like to take a second and thank our donator for this sweet donation deck, Olivia, who submitted a sweet Niv Magus Elemental combo deck. But before I get more into that, I just want to take a second and say, if you haven't watched yesterday's Luris Lotus Breach video, I talk a little bit in the intro about trying to improve my audio quality, which is why you see the mic so close to my face today. I tried a few different settings. I even removed a couple. I removed the expander and the compressor. So now we're just down to noise gate, noise suppression, and gain. So let's see how it sounds today. Maybe I'll sound a little less robotic because there was a few points in the video where my P's and T's ended up sounding a little, robot-y. So let's see how today's audio sounds. I'm always interested in your feedback. But back to the deck. So Olivia submitted a really sweet Niv Magus Elemental deck based around Flusterstorm and the interaction with Niv Magus, where you can remove the additional copies of Flusterstorm to pump up your Elemental. And I was looking at the deck and I realized, hey Olivia, you're also playing Mutagenic Growth, which causes you to lose life. There's a bunch of fetches and shocks in this deck. Gut shots. There's a lot of things that made you lose life. Okay? So, and then Olivia was playing Gemstone Mine, and I thought, well, that's really sweet, but what if instead, because the deck was a little bit light on creatures, it was this clever Luminancer, there I go, plus Niv Magus Elemental, and then 2 Elemental Harbinger to go get the Niv Magus, and I thought, you probably want at least another decent threat in this deck. So let's try out Death Shadow. And then it occurred to me to cut the Gemstone Mines for mana confluences because this deck is already killing itself. And then I moved the Pact of Negations to the board for main deck Thoughtseize, which helps play into the Death Shadow aspect of the deck. And the Slaughter Pacts, clears blockers. And here's our Storm spell, Ground Rift. Still a Storm combo deck, am I right? Ground Rift makes it so their creatures can't block, and then you can Assault Strobe for the win. This deck is really sweet. And then you have Tainted Strike, so that way you only need to count to 10 instead of 20. This deck is just wild, and I absolutely love it. Olivia did not submit a deck name, so Olivia, I'm sorry, I'm going to name your deck right now. So you could call it like 5-color Pump combo, or 5-color Suicide combo, or 5-color Suicide Pump combo. I'm going to call it the Suicide Squad, and if you don't like that name, you can call it something else, but I mean, it's not a big leap here. We're killing ourselves with Thoughtseize, Mutagenic Growth, Gut Shot, all this crazy stuff. We also have Pact of Negations, Slaughter Pact and Pact of Negations that kill us. So it kind of makes sense, and if you don't like it, it's not the end of the world. We do have Death Shadow, which is pretty similar to Death Stroke, or you could call it Death Strobe. Whatever you want. I don't really care. This deck is so awesome, though. Olivia came up with a really sweet deck, and I am so excited to play it. I really am. This deck is just bananas, and it's definitely up my alley, so I am just thrilled to play it today. Olivia, you're an awesome deck builder. I love this so much. I did make a couple adjustments to the sideboard. Prismatic Ending is just the best removal spell in the format, and we should probably be playing some number of it to clear blockers or problematic permanents, all that good stuff. We are a 5-color deck, so we can even go all the way up the curve if we need to. Pact of Negations mostly for protecting your own combo against control decks, but also it can be used to stop the opponent from interacting with you in other ways. Let's see how this card is in the league. This is one of the cards in the board that I am not absolutely sold on, but I still think it's probably worth testing because Olivia had it in the deck list for a reason. Surgical Extraction is obviously for graveyard-based combo, Thoughtseize for combo as well. Mog Savage might seem weird, but the Azorius control decks are in Chalice of the Void, and well, if you look at this deck, it's all 1-drops for the most part. So you really do need a way of answering Chalice of the Void, and Mog Salvage is that. Mind Collapse is very similar, except it answers to Fairy, and that's important because we are a Flusterstorm Pact of Negation deck. It just makes sense to me. So we're going to try this out. I think we're going to crush today, and I hope you're a believer too. If you want to be an awesome supporter of this channel like Olivia, you should definitely go directly to theepicstorm.com/donation decks and submit your combo deck to be featured here on this very YouTube channel. Why wouldn't you want to do that? And then you can showcase a deck as sweet as Olivia's. We also have theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and sweet Storm merchandise, including our mini token pack, which can help you count all the way up to your Ground Rift, making all of your creatures unblockable. It just makes sense. And if you want to support us in any other way, we do have a couple free ways that you can support us. You can like this video, you can subscribe, and you can comment. All of those things really do help, and I mean that. So it helps get us into the YouTube algorithm. You get to keep watching more Sweet Storm content. It really is a win-win. So definitely do those things if you haven't already. And yeah, we're this month, today's December 2nd. We are offering a promotion. So if you're a member, you get access to all videos early this month. That's usually a top member tier. It's available this month to all members of this YouTube channel. So it's pretty free to do so. But on top of that, I am giving away right here a Pioneer Lotus Combo deck for free to any member. So I should reword that. It's a giveaway. There's only one of them. But one lucky winner will win. And why wouldn't you want to get a free Pioneer Lotus combo deck? So definitely become a member this month. It will be worth your while. On top of those two awesome promotions, we have a third 15% all shop merchandise with code Stormy Holidays. Stormy Holidays. So if you want to pick up a mini token pack, now is a great time because it is 15% off. You can also get a pint glass and a t-shirt with it, whatever works for you. But I just wanted to do something nice for the holidays, and I hope that you appreciate that. But that's enough of my promotions. Let's hop right into round number 1. I'll see you there. Welcome to match number 1. We are revealing our modern commander, Lyris of the Dream Den. And here we don't have a creature. So this is one of the things that I was originally worried about with this deck, only having 10 threats. I added in 2, but unfortunately we have to ship this sweet hand. Okay, and once again, no threat. So we're going to 5 cards. And here we have quadruple threat. We have to bottom 2 of them. I don't love this. We should definitely bottom the Luminancer and maybe the Slaughter Pact. Yeah, let's try this. We just don't have the resources to really use the Slaughter Pact effectively. I would have loved a creature in the 7 or 6 card hands. Slayer Stronghold, so this is probably Amulet Titan. Okay, so yes, I'd like to pay 2 life, play the Niv Magus, and pass the turn. Alright, a little bit of a slow start for the Titan deck. Another Ground Rift. Let's just get in for 1, and then play another Niv Magus. Unfortunately, we just have to pass the turn here. Alright, so now they have 3 mana, which allows them to play a Dryad or an Azusa. Dryad. Okay. Draw. Alright, so I think we're supposed to gut shot them, going to 16 life. And I could exile this right now to pump. It's probably worth it. Okay. And now we'll cast Ground Rift, targeting the Dryad. And I'm going to exile... Whoops. Exile this. And deal our opponent 6 damage now. Okay, so they're at 13. If I draw an untapped land, we might be able to win on our turn. I don't know. There's the Titan. They don't have an amulet, so we're not dead here. Uh-oh. They're going to kill our creatures, though. I forgot about the whole Valakut thing. So we're probably just dead here. That's a bummer. Alright, we're about to fall to 14. Yeah, we didn't get this one. Draw. Alright, so our draw wasn't really that spectacular this game, but even on a bad draw, we probably... maybe not. No, we probably weren't going to win that. I would have needed to draw a land there. Look at this curve. Alright, So I don't think Flusterstorm is that good in this matchup. We can probably just board those out and bring in these copies of Thoughtseize. Or maybe we keep a couple copies of Fluster. I don't know if we actually need it in the matchup. It counters Summoner's Pact, but also like when they cast Pact, they're gonna have like 6 untapped lands, so I don't even know how good that is. We could board in the Mind Collapse because it kills the Dryad, so I don't hate that. Maybe we just keep like one Fluster. Or you could board in an ending for Amulet. I don't hate this. I think I'm down for doing this. Let's submit. Alright, on the play against Amulet Titan in round number 1, reveal our Luris. Alright, we have a creature, but we don't have white mana. Why can't this be a fetch land? Am I crazy for thinking about keeping this? I think we're supposed to just be disciplined in Mulligan. No creature. We have to go to 5 again. This is probably fine. Keep. Let's get rid of the Niv Magus and ending. Okay. We're just gonna play a Mire and pass. So this puts us to 14. So if we could find a like a Thoughtseize or something, so that way I can play the Shadow, this could end up being a pretty quick win. All right, and they have the Amulet. I get punished for bottoming the ending. Now let's go get a Blood Crypt. Draw. Hell yeah, that was a good one. Alright, so let's fetch. I do need double block this turn. So I think we're supposed to just get the other Foundry. Or, I'm sorry, the other Blood Crypt. Alright, and now we'll go to 2 life, or we'll go down 2 life to 12. And they have double Azusa. Damn. Looks like they don't have a green source, though. So let's just take the Titan and play Shadow. Okay. So, they did not draw a green source here. So if I draw a pump spell, we might be able to win on our turn. Okay. Draw another growth. That's like another growth. Okay. So let's go get Steam Vents. I want the Foundry. Doesn't matter. I guess there's no blue in our deck, so I should get Foundry. And yes, I'd like to shock. So this is 4. Am I 1 point short here? I think I am. So this is going to be +4. It's 9 poison. So I'm not supposed to do it then. So I would go down to 7. This is +4. Yeah, I'm 1 short here. Damn it. Yeah, I'm 1 short. That's such a bummer. Alright, so Saga's going to happen. They can get another Amulet. I don't think there's anything for color fixing in Amulet Titan. Yeah, so they got another Amulet. And they hit the green source for the Azusa, which is kind of a bummer. And there's the Azusa, which allows our opponent to play 2 extra lands. So if they have a Titan here, I'm in trouble. We really did need to draw the other mutagenic growth last turn. So they have 6 mana. I'm using a green. Dryad, okay. Boros Garrison. I don't think they have a payoff here, but I could be wrong. So, yeah, so their other card in hand is the Gruul Turf. Oh, it allows them to tap for blue. So they can Teleria West now for Summoner's Pact. And then play Titan. I think I'm dead here. Wow. Yeah, I'm dead here. That's a bummer. We were so close to winning last turn. You know, they transmute. Yep. So when the Titan enters play, they can go get the haste land, and that's what's going to kill me, because then they can trigger it again. Yep. Oh, the Valka can tap for white. That's right, because of the Dryad. And now you're just super dead. There should be the double strike land in their deck. Or at least they used to play it. I'm just going to make sure our opponent still has it. So no double strike land. Even if we draw the storm spell, I can't deal 10 poison. Oh, and I'm dead because of we put ourselves low. I was like, oh yeah, that's only 10. We're just dead. Sorry about that. A little bit of a mind blank there. And I'm going to draw my card and just see what our next draw would have been. Another Tainted Strike. Okay, well, we came pretty close this round. We did have 2 mulligan to 5s due to lack of threats, but we're only playing 12, so maybe that's a little bit on me. I'm not sure. I did add 2 to the deck, but maybe 2 just wasn't enough. Maybe it should be like 14. Let's see if we can do better in the 4 rounds to follow. Match number 2, and we're on the play this time. Let's reveal our Luris. No lands equals no keeps. Ship it. Okay, so we have a 6-card hand that has lands that can cast our Luminancer. We have Assault Strobe, Tainted Strike. This could actually end up being a pretty quick kill. So let's keep this, and I think we're supposed to bottom the Ground Rift, which might seem a little bit weird, and I totally get that. But if you think about how this plays out, we're going to give our Clever Luminancer Infect, kill their blocker, and then give it Double Strike, and that's 10 damage. Alright, so let's fetch. We're going to go get that copy of Sacred Foundry. Ouch. And then play our Clever Luminancer. Pass the turn. Okay. Come on, blocker. Ragavan. Oh, that's no fun. Draw. What does that do? I think it just protects our Luminancer. I'm not even sure if that's right. I think I just have to pass here. Like, you don't really want to, like, play pump spells into their stuff. What are they on? What is this? Oh, they're on Dredge. I think I'm actually supposed to let this happen. And the reason I'm supposed to let it happen is I want them to get a Narcomoeba into play as a blocker so I can kill them. Alright, so it looks like they might have missed. Okay. So do I have a win here? I think I might. So yeah, I have a win. I guess I had it last turn if I was willing to lose to the removal, but I don't think that was the right play. So we're gonna pay 2 life. Let's give this thing double strike, or I'm sorry, this thing Infect. We'll yield to the ability. So now it should be a 3. And now we give it double strike, and it's 10 Infect. Cool! Get in there! That's what you get for chapping out against me. How dare you? Alright, so we got game number 1 against Dredge. Do I want to change anything? We probably don't need these blessings against Dredge, if I'm being completely honest. So we can get rid of those. Bring in the Surgicals. I don't hate Thoughtseize here. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, revealing our Luris again. Good hand. I'll definitely keep this. Keep. Okay. Black Leaf Cliffs. We're going to start off... Ooh, I love that as a draw. We just need to lose a little bit more life, and I can do that with Mana Confluence over time, but we're pretty close to being able to play Shadow on turn 2. Look at all those Dark Blasts. I think I'm supposed to take the Cathartic Reunion over the Thrilling Discovery, which might seem a little bit weird, but the reason why is they have to draw specifically a white source on their turn. So by taking Reunion, you're making it slightly more difficult on them. So if they draw another Black Leaf Cliffs or, I don't know, a Steam Vents, they couldn't cast that. All right, we're at 15. Draw. Bummer. Okay, so I'm going to have to play this a little bit more slowly. We're just going to have to pass. And on their turn, I'll add a mana and go to 14 life. And they drew their white source for Thrilling Discovery. Okay. So they're going to discard likely 2 Dark Blast here. Okay. Creeping Chill. Yes, the chill actually helps me. I love it. Sweet. Okay, I'm going to auto yield to that. Okay. So, do I want to go to 11? So if they have triple... I don't think I do. Because if they dredge a bunch of chills next turn, I'd be dead. But I guess I'm put in an awkward spot with Dark Blast. So maybe I am supposed to just add a black here. I think that's the correct play. Just so I don't have to care about Dark Blast as much. Okay. I'm at 11. Now we take our turn. I think I want... No, Fluster's probably not the right pick here. Steam Vents. I'm gonna need to think through this a little bit, like how I want to play this Steam Vents. So if I go to 9... I'm pretty much just dead to a... Well, they don't have any dredgers in their graveyard. Maybe I am supposed to... Alright, we're going to play it untapped. Live dangerously. I have a 4/4. Slaughter Pack saying non-black is a little bit awkward with those. But I do have this Ground Rift. They hit land 3. Discard your hand and then draw 3. So Dredger being in the graveyard doesn't matter that much. Okay, so... We know that they have a bunch of Dark Blasts in their hand. So it takes 7. And go to 2. So now I can go to 1. And cast Immunogenic Growth for mana in response. Okay, and now I just have to hope that the Ox of Agonis doesn't kill me. Oh, they're just playing a Thug? They're dead. DED. Dead. Draw. Oh my, this is going to be so much infect. Let's... Oh no, I can't tap the Mana Confluence, my bad. So let's Slaughter Pack this. And now we'll Tainted Strike the Death Shadow. And now we'll Ground Rift, make sure the Thug can't block. And it infect our opponent to death. This deck is so awesome, I love it. Yes! 1-1! Welcome to the third round. Our opponent has revealed a Gigantha to our Lures of the Dream Den. Unfortunately, we don't have any lands. We're going to have to ship this. No lands again. Okay, going to 5. This seems fine. I think we keep this. Let's bottom the Blessing and Bluster? Let's cancel that. Let's bottom Fluster Foundry? I'm just not sure here. Might just be these two. Let's try this. Okay. What are you on? Is it just Bigtron? Draw. Okay, let's go to 17 and Thoughtseize them. So it is Bigtron. I guess we just hope that our opponent misses a bunch here on their draws. Okay. So I'm going to hurt myself a little bit and then play Thoughtseize. Well, we're going to take that Karn Liberated. Okay. So now they get to play Karn the Great Creator. So they can play Karn into something like Trinisphere. We do have 3 lands before we play our Shadow. Okay, there's a Karn. What's the choice here? Trinisphere. Okay. So they have Forest and 1 Unknown. A lot of lands. Play the Shadow. So we might be able to kill a Karn here. They can also play Gigantha. Ugin. So they've had some decent rips this game. That's a bummer. Yeah, we're just out of this. Okay, game 2. Wasn't a whole lot we could have done about that. Alright, so we're not going to... I don't think we're going to need these blessings. Those can probably go to the board. I don't think we actually want Slaughter Pact here either, so those can go to the board. Don't know if this is a Fluster matchup, so we have a lot of options here. So those are the cards we know we don't want in our deck. I do think Thoughtseize is pretty good, so let's board those in. You could even board in Surgical just as a giant growth, so I don't hate that. You can board in Ending to hit their maps and smaller artifacts, so I'm good with that. And Blessing can be used to get through like a Wormcoil engine or something along those lines, so I don't hate it. The question is it better than Fluster Storm? Because Fluster could counter like a Sylvan Scrying or something along those lines. So you're sort of like picking and choosing your battles. I don't know. The Mind Collapse is probably better than one of these. Because we could use it to kill a Planeswalker. I'm going to try this, I think. Alright, so we're going into game 2 against Bigtron. Reveal our Luris. This hand's good. Keep. I'm taking a mulligan. And now they're down to 5. I think I'm actually going to lead off on Thoughtseize here instead of the Niv Magus, because if I can hit a map, that would be very huge. Play the Arid Mesa. Go to 17. Let's get the Blood Crypt. And cast this copy of Thoughtseize. Okay, so they do have map. I think it's better to take the Scrying here, which might seem a little bit odd. But the reason why is it ties up their mana more than taking either of the other options. Okay. Draw. So now we play the Niv Magus. And pass the turn. We might have a win on our turn. I haven't done the math yet. But we can cast Gupshot in the Mind Collapse and then exile them to the Magus to make it a 5. No, that's not lethal. Maybe if we drew the Groundswell. Alright, so they played their turn. They got Blast Zone. Okay. So our time's running out. Take our turn, draw. Hmm. Let's fetch to Thin. Go get another Blood Crypt. So we can cast this Gut Shot, hold priority, and let's exile it. Okay. Float a red. Target our Niv Magus, hold priority, exile it. And I'm just going to get in for 5 here. Alright, they're at 15. Next turn they can play Blast Zone. So we're looking for something good here. Draw. That's not it. So they have 3 cards. I can Assault Strobe this turn. Arn. Okay, let's go to 8. I'm sorry, 7. Cast the Assault Strobe. So this is going to put them to 5, and then next turn we can put Lurrus to our hand. Alright, so they're going to use Map and go get Tron. They have 1 unknown at the moment. They played the Blast Zone. So we're going to go to 5 and play Lurrus. Or get Lurrus, I should say. Alright, let's get in there. Okay. 5 life, Lurrus to hand. Play the Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. So they still have Tron. They have 2 unknown draws here. Darn, that's annoying. Yep. Relic? I don't think I care about that. Sylvan Scrying, okay. Picked up a tower and played Relic. They're just gonna, yeah, I figured they were just gonna remove it immediately. Okay, I'm not gonna use the Foothills. I think the life points might actually end up mattering, so let's just draw. Okay. Well, I guess I should have used it. That's my fault, because I'm taking mana, or damage here off the mana confluence anyway. So that's my bad. But I guess they could get Sundering Titan with the Karn, and I would get punished. Looking for a pump spell here. Because if they play a blocker and I draw a pump spell, we win. Ballista, we're just dead. That's a bummer. Yep. I'm not going to make them ping me. That's unfortunate. I feel like this deck might want like 2 more creatures and then 1 more land. Because I feel like we're either mulliganing from not having lands or we're flooding out quite a bit. But let's just play the last 2 matches, you know, get a little bit more information, and then reevaluate at the end. Alright, match number 4, we're on the draw. Our opponent's revealed a Lurrus. Unfortunately, we don't have a creature again. We have to mulligan. Okay, this seems pretty good. I think I'm going to keep this and bottom the Assault Strobe. Depending on what our opponent's playing, I might even wait until turn 2 to play the Niv Magus so that way I can protect it. Stomping Ground. What is this? Okay. Brennan 6. This is probably Jund. Draw. Yeah, I think it's just too risky to play out the Niv Magus right now. I'm just gonna wait. Alright, Verdant Catacombs. Tomb. And another Renin 6. You got it. And they hit Delirium. Man, they just lost Delirium. They should have attacked first. That was a mistake on their part. Okay. Pick or draw. Another ground rift. Okay, so a third land on our turn would be pretty good. Or a free spell. I'm hoping that our opponent just plays a bunch of spells this turn into a removal spell that I can fluster to pump up the elemental. Shadow Spear, okay. So it is Zoomer Jund. Ragavan, come on, removal spell! Removal spell! Aw, come on. Come on, play your Unholy Heat. Ryan getting back the burden, and they're just passing. That's a bummer. Come on, Unholy Heat. Damn. Alright, so... I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. There's no point in casting a Ground Rift. I think I'm just gonna pass. Keep these flusters up. Yeah. Okay, so going to second main and then we're just passing the turn. Okay. Thoughtseize. Let's fetch. So if I fluster here, our opponent can just pay. But then we could fluster again. I was thinking about maybe casting Apostle's Blessing on the Elemental and then casting Fluster. But I don't know if I actually like that. I think if I do the double Fluster and then double Ground Rift next turn, I'd actually have lethal. Okay, so our fetch land resolved. We will get Steam Vents here, and now we will cast Fluster Storm. So our opponent will most likely tap their 2 lands and pay. Same targets. So the first one, if they don't pay, we can exile the second one to pump our Niv Magus. Okay, and now we'll pay another blue, cast Fluster, this time for 3, and we can exile 2 to pump our Niv Magus up a little. When it's at 12. I wonder if, honestly, if I should just let it go. Is that crazy? Because then they go to 10. I need to think about this. They would go to 10. I could Apostle's Blessing, Groundswell, remove 1. That'd be 9 damage? I think that's the play, as I just let it through. Okay. So, we're going to let this happen. They're probably going to take a Groundswell. Or, I'm sorry, a Ground Rift. And they'll go to 10 life. If they use their fetch land that's in their hand, we just have lethal. Okay, they took the Ground Rift. In the deck tech, I mentioned Ground Rift having Storm. I think I completely forgot about Fluster Storm, if I'm being honest. Which, a little bit of an oversight. Probably the more well-known Storm card for sure. Alright, so they're just suiciding the Ragavan. I think that's because they have an Unholy Heat, and I should just let this go. Yeah, nice Fluster Storm. Because they could go fetch Unholy Heat and kill my Niv Magus. Alright, so our opponent has 4 cards in hand. We know that one of them is a Wooded Foothills, not Wooded Foothills, Verdant Catacombs. Another Ragavan. They played the Verdant, so now they have 2 cards in hand, both unknown. Okay, and they minused. I think we have lethal. Draw? Oh, that's definitely lethal. Alright, let's cast the Apostle's Blessing. I guess we're dead to a Lightning Bolt? That's interesting. I didn't see that part of this. If one of their last two cards in hand is Bolt, we're dead. Alternatively, what if I don't play the Blessing? What if I pay mana for Gut Shot, exile it? Maybe that's the play. Yeah, I think that this is the play. We're going to cast Gut Shot. I don't actually need to exile this. We can just let the Ragavan die. And then cast Ground Rift on our Niv Magus. And now we don't die to Bolt. Exile the Ground Rift. Exile Ground Rift. And let's get in there. Boom. Sweet. I feel like I played that one fairly well. Alright, so we definitely want these prismatic endings. I don't think Thoughtseize is great in these matchups, so I can board that out. And that might be it. So we're at 61 right now. We need to shave one card. Maybe like the 4th Assault Strobe. I'm fine with this. This deck's really sweet when it works. My thoughts right now are that it probably wants a 16th land and like 2 more creatures. I don't know what the creatures would be is the issue. Maybe there's someone much smarter out there than me that knows what this deck needs, but like my first thought is like Monastery Swift Spear, but it doesn't really work with the storm spells the way you want it to, unlike the Clever Luminancer, because Clever Luminancer gets +2/+2 for each copy of the storm spells, which just makes it way more interesting. I think this hand's a mulligan. It just doesn't do enough. This hand's better. Keep, and I think we bottom one of the Ground Rifts or the Strobe. Try this. Need to draw into a white source. Alright, Blackleaf Cliffs into Channeler. Yep. Draw. Sure. Draw. Apostle's Blessing. Not what we needed. Alright, we're going to fall to 18 life and cast the Elemental. Pass the turn after that. Alright, so they get their Bauble draw, and we're looking to dodge a removal spell right here on the Niv Magus. Alright, 2 lands. Okay, you can see our secrets. Thoughtseize. Wait, did I keep double Salt Strobe? I must have. I meant to keep... Well, hold on. I must have bottomed a Groundswell thinking I had 2 Groundswells, or Ground Rift, or whatever it's called. Oh no. This did not end up going well. Well, I drew the white source I needed, but I think I'm just dead now. I thought I had a Ground Rift. I thought I kept a 1-1 split. That's embarrassing. Yeah, I think I just mentally blanked on that. Alright, they're at 16. I mean, take one of our spells. Not a whole lot I can do here. Yeah, they just had it all. Alright, we'll go to game 3. Maybe I do want Thoughtseize in the deck, I don't know. Maybe I just board out the Mutagenic Growths because they're a deck full of removal. Let's try that out. I'm up for experimenting with things. Let's try this. Okay, on the play for game number 3 against Zoomer Jund. Reveal our Luris. This seems fine. I'd love to infect somebody else with a Death Shadow. Alright, so what I like about this hand is while we don't have shock lands to improve our Death Shadow, we do have a couple gut shots to kill their early creatures. We can protect our hand with Fluster. This hand really does have a lot going for it, in my opinion. Alright, I'm going to Fluster that. Alright, so Inquisition will be countered and we'll take our turn. 19 life. Draw. I'll take it. Okay, so 17. I could gut shot myself, but I don't think that's the line. So I could gut shot myself to deal 6 damage and I go to 11. I could go to 10. But we would just get blown out by a piece of removal. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play a little bit more cautiously and pass the turn here. Nurturing Peatland. Goyf. Okay. We have the Slaughter Pact, so I'm not super concerned about that. Alright, so this puts us to what life total? 13 or 14. Maybe I got shot once? And do I target myself? I think the answer is yes. Play Shadow. We need the Shadow to live. So I can tap the Mana Confluence and deal myself 1. I'm okay with that. So now they pick up their Verdant. They don't have Delirium for Unholy Heat, so if they have a Heat, I don't care that much. Awkward. I think I'm gonna gut shot myself. Make this shadow a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm gonna let the Thoughtseize resolve. They're gonna fall to 12 life. Honestly, the Tainted Strike's so close to their life total that I don't think this card matters that much anymore. Yeah, I'm fine with that exchange. Alright, so I'm going to tap this for mana on their end step. Okay, so they just pumped our Shadow 1. Draw. Let's get in there. Attack them. Putting them in a spot where they're okay, they're choosing not to block. That's interesting. Okay, so now the difference between 5 and 6 doesn't really exist. So I wanted to keep it a secret what I drew, so that maybe they'd trump. But here you might be thinking, well, they have Ren and 6 that can ping the Clever Luminancer. I can Slaughter Pact the Tarmogoyf. This will get bigger and then pay on my turn. Okay. So the downside here is that I do have to pay on my turn, which means I'm not going to be able to cast a spell unless it's a free spell for the Luminancer, so like a Gut Shot or something. That's brutal. Okay. So I think our opponent stabilized. Alright, so now I have to pay for the Slaughter Pact. Yes. Draw. That's heartbreaking. I think we just have to pass. And then the Ren and 6 is going to pick off the Clever Luminancer. Maybe I'll get lucky and draw another Shadow. Another thing I can do is put Luris to hand, but that line's so slow and we're at 5 life. Now facing down a Dragon Rage Channeler. Yep. You just need to draw a threat. Because putting Luris to hand isn't going to be good enough. E for 1. Pretty good. Draw. And the E for 1 is so good. Ah, damn. So they're going to be able to attack us for 2, blow up explosives, and then ping us out of the game with this Ren 6. It's heartbreaking. And Bolt. Okay. Not the end of the world. I still think that this was a really good match despite losing. Like, this deck has a lot of potential. I just think there's a couple cards that need to be adjusted. Let's see if we can fix, well, not fix, win match number 5. Alright, 5th match. Our opponents also revealed the Lurrus, and we don't have a creature. We're going to have to ship this. This seems fine. I'm going to keep this and get rid of the Blessing. Okay, so I'm going to start this game on turn 1 Thoughtseize to protect the way for Niv-Magus. Clearing? Is this just hammer? It is just hammer. Okay. So many blockers. Okay. Alright, I'm still just going to play the turn 1 Niv-Magus here. It doesn't trigger their Sentinel. And it gets us on the board. I wonder if we could actually get a kill next turn, so... Ah, Portable Hole! That's a blowout. That's not even a common card. It's in, like, some lists. That was pretty brutal. Damn. That hurt a lot. Like, that really is not a common, like, card that people play. I was studying hammer lists last night, and it's not that common. Alright, so we need to draw another threat. Our opponent's knocking our life total down, so maybe a shadow would be good off the top here. Okay. So we're falling to 9 life. Let's draw Death Shadow. Come on, deck. Draw. So I can get Lurrus here. We don't have any basics in the deck, so I'd fall to 6, take 5. Yeah, we're just dead. Alright, next game. Portable Hole, way too strong. Alright, so Ending is a card that's pretty good here. I don't think Fluster actually has that many targets outside of pumping her own stuff, so I'm not sure if that's a card we want. That said, Thoughtseize isn't really the kind of game we want to be playing, so maybe we just board out like 1 Fluster. Let's try this out. Okay, we're on the play this time. Revealing our Lurrus again. Okay, well, this hand is a turn 2, I believe. Assuming we don't get hit by the hole. Opponent taking a mulligan. Now to 5. So this would make it a 3, a 4. I'm sorry, it would be +7, so it's not a turn 2. I need to draw something else. If we had like another land and a spell in hand instead of this Niv-Magus. So we're not going to get to live the turn 2 dream. It's just not there. Memnite, okay. I F6, I got punished. Okay. Draw. Bluster. I'm gonna play the Niv-Magus. I wonder if I'm just supposed to save the mutagenic growth. I think the answer is probably yes. So the reason we're supposed to save it is if I draw a blue source off the top, we get rewarded. Because I then can create more Storm for the Fluster Storm, exile the copy's Assault Storm for the win. So you're not supposed to play the growth there. And here we're sort of telling our opponent a lie that we can't interact with their stuff. Alright, so they're just going to swing in. I will block. And if they try to play the hammer, I'm just going to gut shot it. Okay. So now they have a hammer that attaches to nothing. Sweet. Alright, blue source. Blue mana source, let's go. Come on. Death Shadow. I think we're just supposed to attack for 2. There's just no point to casting this growth when it's like worse for us later. Okay, and our opponent's just passing the turn. I'm good with that. Draw. There we go. Yes. Alright. So what we're going to do here is gut shot our opponent. Exile this. Mutagenic growth. Exile it instead. Oh, I'm supposed to fluster. Well, I guess I can still fluster. Hold priority, Salt Strobe. Fluster. Same targets. And now we exile. Exile. Alright, we won game number 2. I think we just resubmit. Okay, the final game of this league. This hand's pretty good. I like this. I do wish that we had a gut shot in this hand, but otherwise it's phenomenal. Like, if we had a gut shot over this blessing, I think this hand's really, really strong. Concealed Courtyard into what? Esper Sentinel, sure. Mem Knight. Alright, same start as game 1. 3 cards left in our opponent's hand. That's actually really good. I think I'm supposed to lead on the... Trying to figure out what land to play first. I think it's Mana Confluence. Okay. Urza Saga. Yeah, Serenita's a good one. I am not going to block here. If they have hammer, they have hammer. Choose not to play it, okay. Interesting. Draw. Another mutagenic growth? Ooh. Do we have lethal? Alright, so hypothetically speaking, Slaughter Pact brings this up to a 2. I'm not smart enough to figure this out. Alright, so each one of these is plus 8. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. The pair of them is plus 8, so that's 8. Slaughter Pact would bring it up to 10. I think I could put them to 2. 8, 10, plus 4. Yeah, I could put them to 2. Okay, so let's just fetch. Okay, so let's just attack. No blocks. Oh, wait. Hold on. I don't think I was counting the Apostle's Blessing. Do I actually have the win here? I completely forgot about Apostle's Blessing. I think this is 20. Okay, so 4, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, this is lethal. Okay, so they're going to draw a card. Let's auto-yield to this ability. I'm just going to name Artifact. Then Mutagenic Growth. Mutagenic Growth. And then hold priority, cast Slaughter Pact. And then we'll Flusterstorm it. Do that. Did we just get a turn 2 win? We'll put them all on the original Fluster. Hit that F6 key. Oh my, did we just get a turn 2? I think we did. Yeah! Ah, that was sweet. Love it. We got a turn 2 in the final. Okay, so this was the deck. That was so awesome. We got a turn 2 with Clever Luminancer. That was insane. So I think moving forward, this deck, I loved it. I would definitely play this deck again. Like, this deck is so sweet. I think that the deck does need 2 more threats. Like, I think 14 is probably the right number. So maybe these Thoughtseizes move to the board, and then maybe you want 1 more land. So maybe you cut, I don't know, the 4th Apostle's Blessing, maybe? Just because that card was a little bit clunky. Or you cut like 1 Slaughter Pact. Those are the 2 cards in my mind that are up for grabs here. But I do think you want 16 lands, 4 creatures. That's my big thing. I'd probably move the 2 extra Thoughtseize to the sideboard and cut the 2 of the packs. And I think then you have a really good foundation for this deck. This deck was wild. I loved it. Olivia, thank you for such a sweet donation deck. I'm sorry that I only went 2 and 3, but this deck is really, really awesome. I'd love to play this deck again. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts were. Maybe I'm a little off base. Take care, keep storming, have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.